Hey, Jay Yelas again. I just will have a good tip for you today on fishing shade on sunny days. You can tell we got a bright, hot summer day today. And, on sunny days, one of the keys to catching bass is keeping your lure in the shade if you're fishing shallow. And as you know, as that sun rotates through the sky during the day, your shade angles change throughout the day. So, for example, I'm fishing on the east bank of this lake. So in the morning, I'm going to have a shade line. You can see along those bulrushes right there, you've got about a 10-foot shade line sticking out off the reeds. And so I can fish along and I can keep my bait right up in the shade. And that's where you're going to get the bite. It's super hard to catch shallow fish in direct sunlight. You know, it's a lot easier to get them when your bait is in the shade. So in the morning, I'm going to key on the east banks that have shade, and then, up through the day, like in the winter time, you'll get the south banks, you'll get a good shade line, and then in the afternoon, of course, the sun is going to be on this side of the lake, and then that side is going to be a better side to fish that time of year. And if you think about it, like right now on the west side of the lake, that low, it's about 9:30 in the morning. That low angle of that sun is just shining right into all that shallow cover over there. And there's just like no shade at all. And so that's really hard to fool a fish if you're trying to keep your bait in the shade when there's absolutely no shade on that bank. So I'm going to fish that bank later in the day. But in the morning, I'm going to be looking for shade on the east side. And then, as another thing to think about, when you do have shade along the bank, you can have too much shade. Like if the shade comes out off the bank 30 feet, like if I had a bunch of tall trees there and I had a shade line coming out 30 feet, that's almost too much shade. What's really good is when you have a little narrow strip of maybe 4 foot off the bank, 3 to 5 feet of shade, and it just really crunches down the whole strike zone into that 3 to 5 foot zone of shade. That's kind of one of the things I really look for in the summertime, and that'll change throughout the day. Like this bank may be a good, late morning bank, and the bank down there on the south side might be good, in the afternoon. And sometimes you'll have one big tree on the bank that throws some shade out, and that'll be just kind of an isolated shade pocket. But just remember, when you're fishing shallow on bright sunny days, try to keep your lure in the shade. That's where you'll get the most bites. Little one. Were you rolling on that? Yeah,